Knowing what to eat when you have irritable bowel syndrome IBS is challenging. Since no two people are alike, there is no one-size-fits-all IBS diet recommendation. People who have IBS with diarrhea, IBS-D, may not have the same triggers as those who have IBS with constipation, IBS-C. People who experience symptoms of both IBS-C and IBS-D, mixed-type IBS or IBS-M, may have a combination of triggers. Even within each subtype, identifying and avoiding the foods that set off IBS symptoms will be different for everyone. With that said, there are several diet approaches that appear to provide relief for the various IBS subtypes. Some may require tailoring to ensure sustained relief, but with a little patience and some trial and error, you'll eventually find the eating plan that can help keep your IBS symptoms under control. In this video, we talk about what to eat to manage IBS. It explains common recommendations for an IBS diet, including a low-FODMAP diet and gluten-free diet. IBS is a complex disease, so there's not just one ideal diet plan. Most clinicians recommend a two-stage approach. First, stick to a regular meal pattern while reducing insoluble fiber, alcohol, caffeine, spicy foods, and fat. Make sure to get regular exercise and drink plenty of fluids to avoid dehydration. 2, if these interventions don't provide relief, the next step would be to try a low-FODMAP or gluten-free diet. This should be explored under the guidance of a qualified healthcare professional. Low-FODMAP diet for IBS. FODMAP are short-chain carbohydrates found in many foods. They tend to ferment and increase the volume of liquid and gas in the small and large intestines. Excessive consumption of FODMAPs can lead to flatulence, bloating, and abdominal pain. Given that these are hallmarks of IBS, it makes sense that eliminating high FODMAP foods would help prevent or ease these symptoms. The diet can be challenging, as many common foods are high in FODMAPs. There are 5 types of FODMAPs. Fructans, found in wheat, onions, garlic, barley, cabbage, and broccoli. Fructose, found in fruit, honey, and high fructose corn syrup. Galacto-oligosaccharides, found in legumes and beans. Lactose, found in milk and other dairy foods. Polyols, found in stone fruits, sweet potatoes, apples, and celery. A low-FODMAP diet is designed in 2 phases as part of an elimination diet. Phase 1, foods high in FODMAPs are restricted for a short period of time, generally between 3 to 6 weeks. Phase 2, the foods are reintroduced into the diet, one FODMAP type at a time, to assess your tolerance to each. The American College of Gastroenterology recommends this be done under the guidance of a properly trained gastrointestinal nutritionist. Studies found that approximately 75% of people with IBS who attempted a low FODMAP diet experienced significant symptom relief. Gluten-free diet for IBS. Many people with IBS will report an improvement in symptoms when they eliminate gluten from their diet, even if they do not have celiac disease. Gluten is a protein found in foods that contain cereal grains such as wheat, rye, and barley. If a low FODMAP diet is unable to provide relief, a gluten-free diet may be attempted to see if your symptoms improve. If so, gluten intake may be increased to see how much of the protein you can reasonably tolerate. This may allow you to eat a wider range of foods without such strict dietary controls. A gluten-free diet is defined as having less than 20 parts per million of gluten per day. A low-gluten diet generally involves less than 100 ppm of gluten. To ease chronic IBS-associated constipation, you will almost inevitably need to eat more fiber. It is important to increase the intake gradually to allow your body time to adjust. Generally speaking, soluble fiber is better tolerated by people with IBS than insoluble fiber. You will also need to eat foods that contain healthy polyunsaturated or monounsaturated fat. Foods that are high in saturated fat and sugar are known to promote constipation. IBS-C, compliant foods. Whole grain bread and cereals, oat bran, fruits, especially apples, pears, kiwi fruit, figs, vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables, sweet potato and Brussels sprouts, beans, peas, and lentils, dried fruit, prune juice, non-fat milk in moderation, yogurt and kefir, skinless chicken, fish, especially fatty fish like salmon and tuna, seeds, especially chia seed and ground flaxseed, clear soups. IBS-C, non-compliant foods, white bread, pasta, and crackers, unripe bananas, persimmons, fast or fried foods, baked goods, cookies, muffins, cakes, white rice, full-fat cream and dairy, including ice cream, alcohol, especially beer, red meat, potato chips, chocolate, creamy soups. Foods for IBS-D. If your IBS symptoms involve diarrhea, it is best to stick with bland foods, especially if your symptoms are severe. Fatty, greasy, or creamy foods are to be avoided as they can speed up intestinal contractions, causing cramping and runny stools. Fatty foods should also be avoided if you have IBS-M. Avoid insoluble fiber, which draws water from the intestine, making stools loose or watery. Though you should make every effort to eat fruits and vegetables, it is best to limit your intake of fiber to less than 1.55 grams per half cup cubed episodes. IBS-D, compliant foods. White bread, pasta, and crackers. Whole grains, unless you are gluten intolerant. White rice, oatmeal. Skinless chicken. Lean meat, lean fish, like halibut, flounder, and cod. Eggs. Boiled or baked potato. Beans, peas, and legumes. Bananas. Rice milk, almond milk, or coconut milk. IBS-D, non-compliant foods. Fast or fried foods, foods high in sugar. Fatty meats, processed meats. Sardines and oil-packed canned fish. Cruciferous vegetables, citrus fruits. Caffeine, milk and dairy products. Carbonated drinks, sweetened juices and fruit nectars. Alcohol. Once you find the right diet for you, it's important to stick with it. Unlike some eating plans, IBS diets are generally intended for a lifetime and often require you to make significant lifestyle changes. This may not only include avoiding alcohol, caffeine, and fatty foods, but also regular exercise to normalize bowel function and lose weight. A diet alone can often fall short in controlling IBS symptoms if you remain inactive and/or overweight. At present, there is no indication that a low-FODMAP diet or gluten-free diet can be used on an as-needed basis to treat acute symptoms. With that said, you may want to increase your intake of certain foods if you have diarrhea, or eat extra prunes or bran on days when constipation symptoms are acute. Many people with IBS find that eating smaller, more frequent meals places less stress on the digestive tract than sitting down for 3 large meals. Doing so ensures that the bowels move regularly and gently, as opposed to suddenly being full and then having nothing in them for 5 to 6 hours straight. However, some people with IBS-D may be advised to eat a substantial breakfast or sip coffee first thing in the morning to stimulate a bowel movement, referred to as a gastrocolic reflex. Doing so may keep you regular throughout the day. Taking a short walk after eating also helps, as can sitting in a chair during meals rather than slouching on the sofa. When embarking on an IBS diet, the #1 rule is to avoid any deep fat frying. As much as you may enjoy French fries, donuts, or fried chicken, these types of foods are banned whether you have IBS-C or IBS-D. Instead, grill, roast, or pan-fry meats with as little oil as possible. One trick is to spray oil onto the meat rather than pouring oil into the frying pan. Steaming vegetables make them more digestible, especially if you are prone to diarrhea. If you love salads but find them hard to digest, look for cooked salad recipes, like a Mediterranean heart of palm salad or a grilled eggplant salad. Peeling vegetables, tomatoes, and fruit also makes them more digestible. Instead of salad dressings or sauces, use a squeeze of lemon or lime, some chopped fresh herbs, or a mild tomato or mango salsa to flavor foods. To reduce gassiness from canned beans, rinse them thoroughly and allow them to soak in a bowl of cold water for 30 minutes. If starting from scratch, soak the dried beans twice. First in hot water for a couple of hours, then in cold water overnight, before cooking them slowly in fresh water until very soft. Some people claim that adding ground ajwain, a type of caraway, or epazote, a Mexican herb with a pine-like aroma, can dramatically reduce the gassiness of beans as they cook. While there's no proof of this, it can't hurt to try it. Managing IBS through diet can be a trial and error process, but with patience and the right guidance, you can find a plan that works for you. Whether it's adjusting fiber intake, following a low-FODMAP diet, or trying a gluten-free approach, the key is to listen to your body and make informed choices. Remember, working with a healthcare professional or registered dietitian can help ensure you're meeting your nutritional needs while keeping your symptoms under control. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more health and wellness content. Have you tried any of these dietary approaches for IBS? Let us know your experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.